Medicine Camden Clark and McClinton Auto Group. Live from our studios at One Television Plaza, this is WTAP News at 6.
A local nonprofit is stepping in as tornado relief shifts in Pleasants County. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Phyllis Smith. The Pleasants County Neighbor Network is taking over relief efforts following the 2 tornadoes that ravaged the county last week. Our Chase Campbell visited the Neighborhood Network to talk about what they're doing for the community.
Thursday marked a shift in disaster relief efforts in Pleasants County as the Pleasants County Neighbor Network officially took over supply distribution from First Baptist Church. Executive Director Jennifer White says people are still showing up needing help. She stresses that even though it's been more than a week since the tornadoes hit, many people in the community still need assistance.
You would think that a week later everything would be all said and done, but it's really not. Some people are really just starting to get through to the insurance company, and the adjusters are just now coming out, and then you have folks that didn't have insurance, and where do they go, and where do they start from?
White says Neighbor Network's existing role as a locally funded nonprofit providing a thrift store, food pantry, and utility assistance to the community allows them to go beyond just providing supplies in the wake of the tornadoes.
We're already prepared, with food. We have clothing out here for folks who need it. We have the resources that we can point people to. We may not have everything to give everybody, but we know somebody who does.
As of Thursday morning, White said 6 homes were considered total losses and 13 more had major damage, though she expects that number to climb as more people report. She says housing remains the biggest challenge, and her team is still working to place displaced families in motels while longer-term solutions are found.
We're utilizing, the motels, hotels in Parkersburg if need be, but not everybody has family to just go crash on their couch, and not everyone has some place that they can go, and it's been a struggle finding somewhere, especially people that have special needs. It's been a struggle to find somewhere safe for them to be at a moment's notice.
White says her team is compiling a list of households impacted by the tornadoes so they can follow up individually and make sure no one falls through the cracks in the weeks ahead. In St. Mary's, Chase Campbell, WTAP News.